Let me be clear, these are really tough results. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The voters have sent a message about the pace of change, how they want their lives improved. May was elected to meet those challenges, and I'm not going to walk away from those challenges.
This week's local elections in the United Kingdom saw significant losses for Prime Minister Keir Starmer's Labour Party, with the reform gaining roughly 650 seats, adding to a broader pattern of shifting political support across Europe, where more conservative parties are gaining momentum. Let's take a look at that. In 2024, the European Parliament elections, conservative parties rose to 26%. In Portugal, the Chega party captured 60 of the 230 parliamentary seats. Then France's National Rally secured first place with 33%. And then we moved to Germany, where the Alternative for Germany party doubled support to 21% in 2025. And Austria's Freedom Party took first place with 29%, showing that Europe's political landscape is changing. And on one notable point, immigration policy was a top issue in each of these elections. Let's bring in former Margaret Thatcher advisor, Niall Gardner. Niall, good morning. So tell me
Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning. Tell me why you think these conservative parties are ascendant right now.
Well, thank you for having me on the show today. And without a doubt, we're witnessing a real political revolution taking place not only in the United Kingdom, but also across Europe. The central key issue driving the rise of the right in Europe is mass migration, both illegal and legal. And for far too long, of course, we've seen huge numbers of migrants coming into European countries, including into Great Britain. Into the UK alone, about 200,000 illegal migrants have flooded in recent years. And the British people have said enough is enough. They do not want to be ruled by woke, left-wing socialist elites who believe in open borders. And what we witnessed in the UK Thursday night was nothing short of a political revolution, with Nigel Farage, the leader of the Reform Party, expected to be the next Prime Minister in 2 to 3 years from now, based upon these projected results. And so I do think that we are seeing massive political change across Europe. And people throughout Europe want to see secure borders. They want to see an end to mass migration. They also want to see the woke ruling socialist elites thrown out of office. And Keir Starmer, the British Prime Minister, has been the worst Prime Minister, I think, in British history. And he's now clinging on to power.
Yeah. Niall, you mentioned Nigel Farage. I want to play this clip. Watch.
I think overall what's happened is a truly historic shift in British politics. We've been so used to thinking about politics in terms of left and right. And yet what Reform are able to do is to win in areas that have always been conservative, but equally, we're proving in a big way, we can win in areas that Labour have dominated, frankly, since the end of World War I.
Niall, I'm curious from the perspective of somebody from the UK, how much the impact of President Trump has been on this conversation? Because for so long, people thought, well, we can't stop this. This immigration is happening. You know, there's conflict in the Middle East and these people are displaced. Where else are they going to go? And yet President Trump seeing mass migration here at our southern border, in fact, the largest human migration that ever happened, actually happened in Venezuela. You know, in all of these mass migration movements, Venezuela was the biggest. And yet President Trump shut our border down. Literally no one is coming over that border. So how much does Europeans just realizing it can be done because of Donald Trump impact this election?
Well, that's absolutely right, Rachel. And President Trump has demonstrated that you can secure borders, that you can end illegal mass migration. And what President Trump has done here in the United States has been absolutely stunning and staggering, and a massive success in terms of securing America's borders after the weak-kneed so-called leadership of Joe Biden, who was absolutely useless, frankly. And this is an inspiration, of course, to European leaders on the right. And it is significant that President Trump is a very close ally of Nigel Farage in the United Kingdom. Farage expected to be the next post-Labour prime minister, the next general election. And President Trump has demonstrated, yes, you can end illegal migration, that you can defeat the woke left's poisonous open borders agenda, and that you can secure your nations. And this is the reality here in the United States. And I do think the European leaders are looking to President Trump for tremendous inspiration, actually. And what we are seeing across Europe right now is a wave of conservative victories. And we are seeing the socialist left being humiliated and defeated. So a much more optimistic picture now emerging in the UK and across Europe. And definitely, I think that President Trump's successes here in the United States are a massive inspiration, of course, for European conservative leaders.
Such interesting developments. And yes, President Trump deserves credit for that, not just for securing our border and influencing your borders, but also saving culture. I mean, this is when things happen really rapidly like that. It causes a lot of confusion and a lot of anxiety. Niall, thank you for joining us.